Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel JD Tech Academy. In today's video, we will learn about the Windows operating system architecture. So let's get started. As you can see on the screen, I have mentioned Windows is built on a layered architecture that manages the hardware, the resources available to it, and provides services to applications. So let's get to know how and what is the architecture, right? So Windows basically works in two modes. First one being the user mode, where the user applications are running, and inside that, the system DLLs are also there, which helps the applications to run. And the second mode is the kernel mode, where the operating system kernel is hosted and it has few manager services like the input output manager, the memory manager, the process manager, security reference monitor, plug and play manager. And then comes the third thing, device drivers, right? So as you basically know, whatever is connected to your system, like the printer, the scanner, maybe any other imaging devices, all requires a device driver to be installed in the operating system so that the kernel can interact with these hardwares, right? So take for example, if you are editing a Word document and trying to print that, Word cannot directly interact with the printer. Word will go and request the kernel that let me use this device. The kernel will check the IO manager and send it to the printer. It will connect the application and the hardware. The kernel does that. Yes. So kernel has direct access to all the hardware connected to the operating system. It manages the system resources. It manages the memory that is available in your device. Okay. And along with that, all the devices. Then let's go to the second part, the system processes. What are system processes? These are the background programs started by Windows to manage system tasks, right? So this will be running in the background, and these are these are some of the services that is your applications are dependent on to, or maybe the operating system is dependent to run on that one. So let's move on to the registry. What is a registry? So registry is a hierarchical database that stores configuration settings for your operating system, the applications installed in it, the hardware that is connected to it, and the users that are running that, right? So you can find keys for all of this software, hardware, and users in the registry. So we'll talk more about registry later in the next video, but as of now, you just understand like it has all the configuration settings for all these things, right? Your operating system and applications and hardware. Then, as I already spoke about the user mode, so applications run in the user mode with the limited permission. They cannot directly access the hardware, right? They send all the requests to the kernel of the OS, and kernel manages the system hardware. Then, what are services? So services, these things that run in background without any user interaction. So you are using a printer, but you don't have to do anything with these services, but these services are required to take a print, right? So if the kernel is sending it to your printer from the application, right? So Word is requesting for a document to be printed. It sends the request to the kernel. Kernel uses this service called print spooler, which lets it print to the printer, right? And likewise, there are a few more examples like Windows Update and DHCP client, right? So there are a few more that you can explore. We'll do the practical after this. I'll let you know how to do that. So for now, just move on to the file system. So what is a file system? So Windows uses a new technology file system, NTFS, to store and organize data. It supports permissions, right? This is crucial if you want to know the file system, right? So what are permissions? So permissions, just take for example, if you have a document, if that document has a read-only permission, you won't be able to open and edit it, right? So if the document has a write permission, you will be able to edit it. So generally, you need to read, write, and execute to have full control of a particular uh, folder or maybe a particular file, right? So likewise, there is another thing called encryption, which is managed by the file system, right? As you remember, I have spoken about BitLocker in the previous video, that how it encrypts the data so that it doesn't fall under any unauthorized hands, right? Yeah. So BitLocker who encrypts these things, so it uses the file system. Then again, there is compression. Compression, you must have used 7-zip or WinZip to compress your folders, making it smaller in size so that you'll be able to send it over email. So compression is also handled by the file system and many more things that the file system can do. But as of now, these are the basics that you should be knowing uh, if you are looking for a system administrator role. If you're aspiring to be a system administrator, these are few of the basics of Windows operating system that you should know. So let's get back to the practical. Okay, so here the first task that I have mentioned is to open the task manager. You can use this key combination Control Shift plus Escape. So this will open the task manager. Or else, what you can do is just simply right click like this on your taskbar and it shows you the option to open task manager. So can you see inside the task manager? So as you can see all the processes that is running in the background, right? You can see everything, all the processes that is being used by different applications, right? Then you have the second option. You click on this and you get the performance tab, right? So in performance, you can see how your CPU is performing, how your memory is performing, what is your disk doing, right? What is the write speed? What is your Wi-Fi doing? How is the speed? What is the IPv4 connection? Then you can check the Ethernet. So I don't have a Ethernet connected here, but I do have a virtual adapter here. So you can check like this. You can check your GPU, how it is performing, right? So all this are mentioned in the performance tab. You can check the stability of your system. You can use this tool uh, to check if your system is performing fine or not, right? Then the third tab is the app history. You can see which applications are running, so, and using how much time of your CPU, how much network bandwidth it has used, notifications. So going on to the fourth tab, that is startup apps. So as you can see on your screen, these are the applications that run when my Windows starts, right? So once my Windows operating system is logged in and it is onto the desktop, it starts all these applications, whatever is there in the startup apps. See, for example, if I don't want it to be started after just operating system, you can see I can disable it as well. And same like that, if you have a disabled application that you need to enable, once you click that, right? So my calendar is not running, that is disabled. I can enable it as well. Moving on to the fifth tab, it is users, like which user is using this operating system or the device right now. And as you can see, it will show all the applications or processes that is running inside it. The sixth tab says details. It has details about the processes that are running. So you can check which process is being run by which application. So in the description, it mentions the application names. Moving on to the last tab that says services. So this is the services tab. Here inside this, you can check for all of the services running in your system, right? So you remember I have given you a example of the printer being used, and print spooler helps to do that. So let us find the print spooler here. Let me see if I have it installed. So I don't have the print spooler as of now, since I don't have a printer installed. Once a printer is installed and configured, so you'll get the print spooler. Let's check for the Windows Update one. Yes, the Windows Update service is there, but I have kept it on stopped because it always tries to install some updates. So I have stopped it for some time. Okay, so like this, you can just search for the services. If any of your application is dependent on in this service, and that application is not behaving correctly, you can check the services if the services are running or it is in stopped mode. So applications also depend on these services. So if it is stopped, that application may behave inaccurately, right? So you can turn on the stopped service to so that the application runs properly again. Yeah, the last in this says settings. This is the setting of the task manager application, and not really related to all these things, all these metrics, right? Yeah. So I have shown you this explore services.msc practical as well from that, but there is a alternate way to access the services. You can go like this. So you can press the Windows key plus R and type services.msc and press enter. So you will get the services tab in a different management console at all. It will not run inside Task Manager. It will be opened separately so that you can completely concentrate on the services part, right? Let me show you. So here is my run, and I type services.msc. It runs the services. Basically, I don't have anything else apart from the services tab right here. So I can completely deep dive into all the services required to run my application. Let's move on to the last practical for today. This is exploring the registry editor. Remember what I told about the configuration settings for your Windows and applications and hardware and users as well, right? So you can access that using the registry editor. How do you open it? Yes, you have to press Windows R and type regedit and press enter. regedit, regedit. Yes. So as you can see on the left hand side, you have the navigation pin. So generally when we are troubleshooting, most of the time we are using this H key local machine and go to the software to find out the keys for that particular software, right? If I want to go for this Realtek, yes, I can see what all keys are there inside that, right? Same like that, I have HK users. So it is for a particular user that has all the software installed, and what is the environment, what you can see inside this. Just try to explore this registry editor. You'll come to know more about this. It might be required in the future, like when I'll show you how to troubleshoot the operating system, or maybe the applications as well, right? Yeah, so for that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video. If you like this video and found it useful, you can click on the like button. You can subscribe to my channel so that you can keep on getting these videos, which will help you enhance your knowledge to become a system administrator. Till then, goodbye and take care.